I just won gold place in this month's Quaker Cup race number 1 Toon Class races. Against stellar competition this month, 15 cars in all, I prevailed with Eagle. Yay! Eagle is my B-Max car that I have an atomic tune engine in there for the Toon Class races, and it's a heavy car. You all know Eagle is a pretty heavy car, 139 grams, atomic tuned engine, lots of weights on the sides and the backs. These are pretty heavy weights that I've got here to weigh everything down. So yeah, this is a front heavy engine because it's an FMA car. It's a muck frame. Yes, a muck frame that's been tuned quite heavily. Wow, pretty darn cool. Yeah. A lot of you know about my break-in secrets for box stock and hyperdash motors, but do you know my break-in secrets for atomic tuned motors? Do I have break-in methods for atomic tuned motors? So yeah, pretty cool, pretty cool. So some of the reasons why I think this car won was because it was in fact developed for a 3-lane track. So it excels on 3-lane tracks. It's just one of those things where I weighted things down very appropriately all around. I've got these small wheels, so this car hugs the ground very much so. So small wheels, it turns corners very fast. It's not the fastest car, but it's got all of these combinations of different things that make it a fast car. And if you take a look at the races right here, you'll see what's going on in the races. My gosh. So right off the line, I was like the last one right off the line because, I don't know, like I can't get the red, green thing in my mind quite right. And the sound didn't seem to sync up with the green light as well as I'd like, in my head anyway. So yeah, I would always drop last. I don't know, it's just weird. Like 3, 2, 1, go makes sense to me, but beep, 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 bleep, it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, that's what happened in DXN also. I would always have late starts. So even with a late start, this thing caught up and overran everybody. And that was pretty darn cool. Again, not the fastest car, but in a race, when it counts, it's going to succeed. And here's the thing, because it's a heavy car, it deals with vibrations very well, very well. And because it's low to the ground, also a good indicator for dealing with vibrations. Pretty cool. Yeah, so yeah, you want to have this double plate on the front. Yeah, you want to basically solidify your front with double plates in the front. It makes it a little heavier too, so there's more weight in the front of the car. You want as much weight as you can, reasonably can, on the front of the car so that when this goes over jumps, it's like a rocket. Yeah, now this is not going to be for every track, right? So there are a number of tracks where Eagle is not going to fly well. So yeah, but on the tracks that it is designed for, it's going to do very well. So here's another car that I also tried. This is Voltron Max, and it's also a B-Max racer with an atomic tune engine, and unfortunately didn't fare as well on this Quaker Cup track. The Quaker Cup track is a speed track. This track also had some like really unusual things in it. There was a jump in there, so that kind of threw some people off. Not too many people, but it threw some people off. There were also a lot of twists and turns, and there was this one wicked right turn that caused a lot of people to course out. And yeah, it caused this car to course out, it caused Ganesha to course out. I don't have Ganesha with me, but I'll describe what I'm going to do with Ganesha soon. It caused my muck frame to course out too, so this is my box stock racer. And it was doing fairly well in trial runs, but when it came up to racing against other cars, as you know, mock frames are real light, so this is not going to be the best car for handling vibration control. So yeah, right around that sharp right turn, it would course out a lot. So yeah, so I ended up not winning with this one. But yeah, I'm quite happy that I won gold in Toon Class, and yeah, to me, Toon Class is the hardest class of all, so I'm quite happy that I won Toon Class because of it. I feel that Open Class is like one of the easier classes because you get to use your creativity in it, but a lot of people just shy away from Open Class because they think that it's like really hard. They think that they have to get their cars like really super fast, and they don't feel confident for whatever reason with their Open Class cars. But the fact of the matter is, you can race your Toon Class cars in Open Class, and you might do fairly well in them. You might be surprised. Yeah, there are many Toon Class cars that are faster than Open Class cars. They might not be able to handle jumps very well as the Open Class cars, but give it a try. I mean, I did use Voltron in an Open Class race, and this did fairly well. It ended up in the final 5, so pretty cool, pretty cool. And I think it ended up as number 4 out of the 5 finalists, so pretty cool. So yeah, anything is possible in mini 4-wheel drive. There have been reports of a box stock car winning a Toon Class race too. So yeah, just because you're racing what you think of as the slowest car, don't discount it, because if it's stable, if it's rock solid, and it stays on the track, it might just win you the race. Everybody's going to be flying down the track. They're going to be trying to beat each other, and then they'll end up all coursing out. And here you go, little like slow tortoise, as slow as possible, and you just finish the race, and then you end up in one of the podium spots. That's like pretty cool. So yeah, don't discount the slowest cars. Sometimes they can help you win races. pretty cool. Now, Ganesha was my other Toon Class car, and that did fairly well too. In fact, it ended up in the finals also. It's just that it had to race against this car, so this car was faster than Ganesha. So unfortunately, Ganesha was second place to this one, and yeah, there was another car that was third place. And so I'm going to basically enter Ganesha into D Pit Stop's race next week, and we'll see how it fares there. So I'm going to do a proximate race there. My friend Ken is going to drop the car, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So I already gave him some information about how to set the battery voltages and stuff like that. So yeah, pretty cool. We'll see how it fares over there. Very cool. So yeah, my prize for Toon Class Gold, besides the medal, is this mock frame. Yay! I can always use another mock frame. Mock frames are cool. This is probably and should be one of your favorite cars to purchase. So go out, get a whole bunch of mock frames, build them, learn about them, learn what makes them great, because they are great race cars. And if you can't get this, then get the Brocken Gigant. That's another good car. Or just get, it's not here, but you can get Beast or the Rowdy Bull, the blue Rowdy Bull. That's a good car too. So that was the very first FMA car, the Rowdy Bull. So get that. So get that, or the Brocken Gigant, or the mock frame. I prefer the mock frame, so get a mock frame. So, D Pit Stop was there to sell various parts and kits, and I got some really cool things from them. So yeah, Doug heads the D Pit Stop USA, and he was there to represent the D Pit Stop name and the brand over there. And so yeah, he was selling all of these kits for super awesome prices. And if you go to a race that's sponsored by D Pit Stop, you're gonna get some good deals too. So yeah, I got this Polar Bear car. Yes, I've been looking for this for quite a while. I have the pre-made kit, and I have it on my shelf, and I'm not racing that because it's pre-made. Now let me tell you, the pre-made kits from Tamiya, they're cute and they're assembled okay. They're not assembled great, and if you take them apart, you'll see all the problems with it. It looks like a 5-year-old built it. So if I were to make it myself, and I will get a chance to with this, I would take great care and attention to making sure that all of the parts are properly lubricated and oiled, and yeah, that's what I would do. Whereas the pre-made kits, they were just like hand assembled very quickly, I think, by a 5-year-old. So some of the parts we even kind of like rusted out. I kid you not. There was a shaft that went through the counter gear that looked like it had corrosion on it. It was really weird. So I do not recommend racing those pre-made kits. If you do, you'll have to replace a lot of parts inside. So yeah, I also got here the Tri-Dagger X. Yay! Now many of you know that I have the Tri-Dagger Carbon Special, and I built it. It's a Super 2 car, and it's very slow, and I was very dissatisfied with the performance of the car. It looks great, but the performance is just terrible. So this is supposed to be a much better version of the car. This has a red polycarbonate chassis. Now, you all know how I feel about polycarbonate chassis. I have a love-hate relationship with them. I think that the stiffer chassis gives you an extra kilometer per hour speed. There's no question about that. However, if you crash, and you will crash, you will course out on all of these cars, you will find that they're not as sturdy as the non-polycarbonate chassis, the regular ABS chassis. Now, it may be different here because this is a Super 2 chassis and the roller mounts are very strong. So perhaps the polycarbonate reinforced chassis are better for Super 2 than they are for FMA. So that could be a possibility right there. So I think this red chassis here, if this works out, it will be well worth the price of the kit, just for getting this red polycarbonate reinforced chassis. Yeah, so right now I recommend this only because of this chassis here. It's a red chassis. It looks really sharp. But other than that, all of the other parts, it's just all regular ABS stuff, right? PP and ABS stuff. So this is the special thing. This is what makes it a premium kit, this chassis right here. Pretty cool. Now the last thing I got is a Gunbluster XTO Premium. So what's so great about this? So here we have a car that is very similar in bulk to the Brocken Gigant. Yeah, look how big and heavy this car is. It's about 4 grams more than a typical mock frame, because look how big the cowl is, the body itself, the red body. It's huge. It's just huge. Now the only problem with this is there's not much room for adding the side stays and the weights that you want. So they might be flush up against the sides here once you add the carbon side stays. So you might have to use the smaller, thinner columnar weights. However, something like this has a little more room on the side so that you can put bigger weights on there. So this is pretty cool in itself right here. There was another car that I was also looking at that was also FMA chassis that also had a little bit more room than even this. I was considering that one also. I forget the name of it though. But yeah, what makes this premium? Huh, I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing here that seems very premium to me. And sometimes I remember the old Super 2 and VS chassis kits when they would be called premium, it's just because they included a motor in them. So yeah, that's about it. Unless you want to count this dark gray chassis here, which is a metallic dark gray versus the traditional black chassis. I mean, that could be premium to some people, I guess. In general though, I don't consider like colors like gray and white and black to be very interesting. I think colors are better than gray or black or white, but you might differ on that opinion. So, so yeah, I don't know if there's anything really premium about this other than maybe the colors of it. Like if you like the blue here, you like the blue brake plate here and the blue body, that might be considered a premium thing, I suppose. Yeah, FMA chassis, you know, like you can't go wrong with it. Unless this is manufactured in a more, unless the premium means that it's manufactured in a different way, maybe. Because we all know that certain chassis, they're just a lot more stable than other chassis, even within the same class. So some FMA cars just have better chassis than other FMA cars. It's just a fact. So I don't know. I don't know what's so special about this, where you would just go run out and just buy this, other than the fact that the colors are kind of cool. So yeah, pretty cool. All three really cool cars. I mean, my favorite, of course, is the Animal Racer. I always love Animal Racer. I think it's fun to make an Animal Racer that's like really fast. Unfortunately, all of my Animal Racers are like not as fast as my other cars. So, but I'm trying to make this as fast. I'm trying to make these Animal Racers as fast as possible. I think a Nation is a pretty fast car, but it wasn't really an Animal Racer to begin with. It started off as the Razorback, and I just put an animal inside there, so I'm calling it an Animal Racer. So yeah, got Panda Bear, Pango. That's pretty fast, right? It did win gold in AAA, but yeah, it's because I think it was because this car just found the right track, right? So every car that you own is going to fare well on a certain type of track. So not every car is going to work well with every single track out there. So you have to find a track that your car fits and works with. And so the track that I raced at AAA and won gold with Tune Class with this, it just so happened that the characteristics of the track just melded well with what this was. So I think that's why I won that, not because of anything awesome about this car. I mean, there are some awesome things. Small tires, small wheels, right? And I've got low fricks in the front and super hard in the back. I've got a lot of dish hardware here. Now, you know how I feel about dishes. 19mm dishes are king or queen. They are just like so much more stable than the ones that have holes in them or designs in them. So they spin very freely. They spin like there's no tomorrow. And you know I love ball bearing rollers. They spin forever. Now these things, I have a love-hate relationship with them. I kind of hate them. These smaller dishes here, anything that's small like this doesn't spin as freely. It's just, I think they're pieces of garbage, but it's what we have, and we want to put 13mm rollers in the front, so that's why we have them. So yeah, they work out okay. And the weights, I've got a lot of weight on this car. So this is 139 grams also. It seems to be 139 is a magic number of sorts. It seems to work out well with this. It seems to work out well with this. So 139, pretty good weight. Try to make your cars 139 grams. And also, one thing to consider. When I was racing, I made sure that I always changed my batteries. Yes, right before every race. Changed my batteries, and I made sure that everything was lubricated. And right here we have my very special oil, Ganapati oil. It's a liquid bearing oil. You can use it for your bearings, bearing rollers. You can also use it for your shafts, right in between the wheel and the chassis itself. You could use it for your motor as well to lubricate the insides of the motor. You just put some drops on it while it's running and just let it kind of drip in there. And yeah, you will hear the difference with your motor. So yeah, outside of Voodoo oil, like don't put too much Voodoo oil in your motors. Put a little bit of this right after your Voodoo and you'll be golden. Yeah, I'm sorry that you can't get this like anywhere other than from me. It's like, it's one of those things where you can order this from me if you can race in one of my races, or you meet me somewhere, you can buy one of these from me. So they are, I think they're $12. You get 2 for 20, something like that. So yeah, get Ganapati oil. Pretty cool. So yes, the Quaker Cup, very fun. It's out in Quakertown. Yeah, it's a big space, so the track is big. So you want to go there and race. There's a lot of space. You could set up all of your gear there. You can work on all of your cars. It's an elimination race, so only one car from each racer can race at the end. The Quaker Cup is the fourth Sunday of every month. So yeah, come one, come all. It's a great race. You'll have a great time. You'll meet the hosts. They're awesome people. That's Rob and Logan. Yeah, so you'll meet so many other cool racers out there that you might not meet at AAA or a hobby town. So yeah, come to the race. You'll see. It's pretty fun. So yes, if you like this video, please slam the like button, subscribe to my channel. You'll see more videos just like this one. Until next time, everybody, see you. Bye.